This is Kirby Mary here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another episode of Shin Hayarigami 2 Chapter 5, the final chapter of this game. First of all, it's very good to see you all again. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a lovely day, afternoon, night, depending on your time zone. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for taking this moment of your time and watching today's video. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. If you guys enjoy this type of content, be sure to drop the like button. It really helps out a lot. If you're not subscribed to the channel, would appreciate if you do. Also leave your comments and your thoughts on this video or anything in general. And so for context, last episode we finished chapter 4, Senna's perspective side, where he got literally chased to the ground by a bunch of turbo grannies, and I call them all turbo grannies, but they have different names and versions. I just don't remember them all. And basically we once again go to the time loop situation, where both Senna and our girl NIIMI are finding themselves a bit confused on what the hell happened or what is even going on. I would say chapter 4, I don't know if you guys are mixed on it or not, but I would say for me it's a fun bad type of chapter. Like I don't know, for me personally, I'm a little disappointed how the direction the chapter went, because it was basically to show the whole point that they had the organization has this girl with time I was gonna say time machine powers with time traveling powers, I would say, like she can turn back time. And so but then all that crazy adventure happened for nothing. So it was a little bit disappointing. I think it's worse than chapter 3, or I would say both chapters at this point are bad. Chapter 3 had some good emotional moments, but it wasn't still good enough in my opinion. Anyways, but don't worry, I feel like in chapter 5, even though it does go a bit off the rails, I think it's still a good chapter. It does have some very emotional moments, and I think that the story is very good. And yeah, I think you're gonna love the final chapter. I personally love the final chapter as well. So anyways, that's pretty much it for this introduction. Sorry for talking so long, but without further ado, we're just gonna start with chapter 5. I hope you'll enjoy it. Alright, we're seeing the thing, Toshida Setsu. People call this baseless as they laugh, but just as there's no smoke without fire is not necessarily fiction. Misperception of facts and mistakes. When we fail to accept the truth in front of us, we try to patch it up with our own common sense. They replace it with something they can't understand, and they try to patch it up with a twisted something that suits them. The mending is that these small mistakes eventually accumulate and turn into absurdity. And that absurdity is what becomes an urban legend that continues to fascinate people. Let's go. The high school girls! High school girls!
Hey, do you know the story? Another rumor? Yes, it's a cool one. Okay, so what's the story about? Just like before, I heard this story from a friend of a friend, tomodachi no tomodachi. An elementary school student apparently had someone buy them a rhinoceros beetle at a store. Oh yes, I heard they're selling them. Recently they've been selling really big ones overseas, I hear. That's right. I don't understand why people would go out of their way to buy insects. Right. So, what happened to the student? After a while, the beetle died, so they begged their parents to take them to the store again. When the parents asked if they wanted to buy a new beetle, the kids said that they wanted to buy batteries. Batteries? Why? They asked the same question, but the child looked confused and said this. My beetle stopped working, so I want to change the battery.
Oh, that's so innocent.
Batteries for a rhinoceros beetle. I guess kids these days don't know how to differentiate the living things with the non-living things anymore.
That is kind of scary with the technology that's going on these days.
They probably never seen fillets of fish. Do you think they think the fish are fillets swimming around? I know, right? Kids these days take life too easy, right? If things continue like this, Japan's in trouble.
Oh. Bullying, classroom collapse, and juvenile crimes at a young age. Oh, okay, skip this. The adults blame society, schools, government, or video games. I hate the fact that they blame video games. That's so bullshit. Although, yeah, they tell them to be quiet because the shop staff will get angry with them. They also tell them to not do anything naughty because the police will get them. But they're wrong. They can't discipline their children, so instead they lie to their children. They know that in reality, all the responsibility lies with them as their parents. They're just running away from their responsibilities as parents. Only strict, yet warm love can guide the children. Ooh, what the hell? Okay. That's so quiet. The Toku's office is silent as usual, and you're making us feel really quiet. Oh my god. After a quick lunch, I stared at the PC. I feel like I need to write a report, but when I sit down at the computer, that feeling just disappears. To start off, we haven't been involved in any incidents that require me to write a report for some time now. Nobody should be here, but I find myself feeling trouble. What is this feeling? I've been so bored for a long time. I feel like I've been caught up in some kind of terrible incident. I can't really explain it, but it's like I witnessed something extraordinary in Shinjuku. You're still trying to remember? Oh my god! Shinjuku? I've never been to Shinjuku. So why am I thinking of Shinjuku? Oh my god, I still can't remember. It's not a place I have a connection to. Speaking of Shinjuku Police Station, is it the station with the most police officers and it has jurisdictions over Kabukicho and Shinjuku Station? Ah, I see what's going on. I want a job. I'm so anxious because of this boredom that I imagine myself being busy in Shinjuku Police Station. Actually, you were there in another life. I'm so bored. Sena, for example, fills his free time by reading magazines and the like. If ordinary citizens were to see them doing that, the information would likely be leaked to the media and they would be beaten up from morning until night. While the citizens will never visit this office since it's a closed apartment to the public. And worse, no one from the G Prefectural Police Headquarters has ever come. The chief director is the only one who calls, and it's always an anonymous call. Oh, the director of the Crime Research Institute, Professor Kisaragi, has visited a few times, but she doesn't come that often. Yeah, we saw it in the last episode. Not good. A bunch of meaningless thoughts pop into my head. I'll say this, it's because of boredom! The reason why I have so much free time is because the world's at peace. It's a good thing, or at least I think so. At the very least, I want to make sure I don't get left behind by the current state of affairs. Maybe I should check the news? Thinking that, I turn back to my PC. We're still only halfway into work hours. I also feel very uncomfortable doing anything that isn't related to my job. Let's check the news and see if anything has happened. While thinking of an excuse I never needed to make anyone, I opened up the browser on my PC and visited my usual news website. It's peaceful. Headlines include a celebrity getting married and global warming is causing highly poisonous blue ring octopuses to move north. This is the news from a landlocked prefecture of G, right? Why an octopus? Among these peaceful headlines, there's one disturbing news. Juvenile unaliving incident. That's right, this incident is that's currently sending shock waves through G Prefecture, where there's been a rising number of unaliving among the elementary school students. And, I don't know, don't you think that would be a bit of a concern for you, Missy? The fact that this is making the news headlines means that this horrible incident has happened again. That one. Before I know it, Senna was standing behind me with a knowing look on his face. Senna, who has a strong love for G perfection, must be feeling very angry about this incident.
These parents must be going insane. Their children dying suddenly.
Hello, if you guys haven't realized it may be a mystery, shouldn't you take a closer look at that? The opposite is also pretty tough though.
Huh?
It seems that Senna's sad expression shows more than just sympathy for the people involved in these incidents. It shows a different kind of sadness. Oh, that's right, Natty. Look at what's written in MU magazine. Saying that, Senna hands me the magazine with the page still open.
Huh? MU magazine?
Just look at the page.
Alien technology that was developed by countries has been secretly obtained?
Yeah, so James still succeeded! This is another suspicious headline. The story is about developed and powerful countries, particularly the United States, getting their hands on technology brought to them by aliens. According to this article, the public has not been informed and experiments are being conducted in various countries and regions. However, the powerful people at the core of this organization are not satisfied with this, and now they are trying to unravel the mechanism behind the Kai and the Roy that have been passed down since ancient times, in order to be able to control power. That was what we were told! In other words, they were planning to use it as a weapon. It seems like a typical conspiracy theory, but it somehow makes me feel uneasy. No, I'm thinking too much. The writer of this article is Yuka Mamiya. Again, who on earth is this person? What an amazing article. I love these kind of stories. What do you think? You don't remember anything, Senna?
Right. This article is to be believed. We'll soon be able to commute to work in our UFOs instead of our own cars.
Natty, is it just me? Or is your face all twisted?
It's just you, Senna.
For some reason I began to sweat. We're starting to remember. Somehow, I'm starting to feel a bit uncomfortable.
What a coincidence. Me too.
I feel like I'm remembering something. Maybe not. Or maybe I shouldn't remember it. Oh! Perhaps because he got startled by the sudden shocks and then lets out a shout. And as for me, rather than being startled by the knock on the door, I was startled by Senna's shout.
Hi, Iko.
It's rare that there's a visitor here. Could it be Professor Kisaragi again? You two! You found our office! Oh no, this is embarrassing. Go away! Our office is ugly and everything. No, just kidding. Actually, you're not allowed in our office because, we don't like, Good lord. Okay, whatever. Apologies for the interruption. The A Zoo of the 1st Investigative Division. What an unexpected visit. We didn't even see them in the last episode. That was so disappointing. This is just a moldy room. Did you just came here a room? This room was made for us. So you go ahead and go bye-bye. He looks around and of course he begins to say rude things. Hold on. What a shabby place. This is fit to be a dead-end department. What did you say, you bastard? And of course, Senna becomes enraged. He is insulting our workplace after all, so it's understandable. Honestly, I'm a bit annoyed too. Yeah, get away, you rich mother. Well, from what it looks like, you both seem to have a lot of free time. What's with these piles of magazines? Detective DB picks up a copy of the monthly Mew from the pile and spats it out, frowning. There's no denying that we have free time and we've been bored. But even so, I'm feeling a bit better today. That's for information gathering. Well, it suits you, occult specialist, quite well.
So, what can we do for you today? Why'd you come all the way to this shabby place?
I hit the nail on the head and can't help but feel a prickly reaction. Of course, I mean, look at this guy. His face says it over. I'm an annoying mother.
No need to be so sarcastic. I apologize for Shintaro's rudeness.
Huh? Senna and I are taken aback by the unexpected apology. Excuse me?
Wait, there's no need for you to apologize, Masaomi.
It seems that Detective NIIMI is also taken aback by this. Does he care for his KOUKETSU?
Because time's short, we should get straight to the point. We have a favor to ask.
A favor? Someone from the 1st Investigative Division and the actual head of the division in place of the now figurehead Chief Tanaka, Inspector KOUKETSU, is asking for help from Tokuso?
Shintaro, bring her here.
Oh, straight to the point. Holy sh**.
Right.
Inspector KOUKETSU looks towards the door and Detective NIIMI responds and heads out the door.
Apologies for keeping you waiting. You can come in now.
Wakata.
A faint conversation could be heard from the other side of the door. Detective NIIMI and a high-pitched female, no, girlish voice. Who could it be? The person who came in with Detective NIIMI was... This is the girl! The girl who can turn back time! What is she doing here? Is she came here to torture us? Please, for the love of God, we're still suffering from that last episode. A girl that looks to be about 10 years old. Her neat and tidy features give off pale, fleeting impression. These clothes are Gothic Lolita style. The frilly dress suits her slender, petite figure perfectly. She looks like Mary from Deathmark, honestly. Combined with her rather inhuman appearance, it may sound cliche, but she looks like a Western doll. Who knows? It might be Mary.
What's the matter with this little girl? According to this kid's statement, Japan's going to fall into chaos.
Huh? Detective NIIMI says something completely unexpected and with a straight face. Is this the kind of character he is?
This is your specialty, right?
Oh, I see. Detective NIIMI says it with a blank expression on his face and pushes the girl back towards me. Yeah, I know what's going on. I see what it means. In short, it seems they came to force a nuisance on us. It seems he's choosing his words carefully in front of the person in question. Of course, he doesn't want to hurt the girl's feeling, but he doesn't believe her.
Apologies, but we got our hands full with the children unaliving case. And that's the thing that's causing a fuss in G Prefecture recently. Did you know that over the past 10 years, more than 30,000 people have taken their own lives every year in Japan? If you divide that number by days, more than 80 per day have taken their own life.
Of course we know that. Senna, who's next to me, looks like he's saying, oh, so that's how it is. The reason why he didn't say anything to Detective NIIMI is because it's tough for him.
The Kanto region, including the Tokyo metropolitan area, in the Chubu region, A Prefecture, in the Kansai region, X Prefecture, and H Prefecture, in Kyushu, F Prefecture, they are concentrated in cities with large populations. Compared to those statistics, the past year has seen an unusually high number of unaliving and missing boys and girls in G Prefecture, especially in the past few months.
Yeah, we know that too.
But what about the fact that almost all of those unaliving were found hanged?
See? This is why you should have looked at it! It's a commonality!
Hanged? This information is being withheld from the media.
All of them unalive themselves? By hanging?
Unaliving or not, we're acting. In addition to unaliving, there's also cases of fake murder in new religions. And there's also mass unaliving involving drugs and a group unaliving. They are considering all possibilities, including some theories that I think are rather quite ridiculous, such as death by an unknown virus.
And so, all departments are working day and night to investigate the case and protecting the missing children.
With the exception of few.
Detective NIIMI's eyes were saying, "Why are you guys relaxing during this emergency?" You know what? I don't blame him. I don't blame him because honestly, if I saw this, I would just act too. I would be like, "Yo, what is going on? Can you tell me what's going on, please?" It's like, I don't blame him. I think I'm on his side on this one. I've been feeling like he's been acting strangely harsh towards us for a while now, so maybe this is the reason. No wonder he's pissed. I understand him.
The number of missing children is roughly 1 per grade in each school. The many missing children come troubled families, and relatives in the schools assume they have simply run away from home. This delays the discovery of the problem. However, it came to light when a writer for a cult magazine compiled her own statistics and reported them to the G Prefecture Board of Education.
A writer for an occult magazine. Could it be that Yuka Mamiya?
According to these statistics, the number of children who died from hanging so far this year is already at 1,200. What? This is roughly 1% of elementary school students in G Prefecture.
At this rate, there won't be any more children. That's certainly an extraordinary number. Compared to the national average mentioned earlier, this is by far the highest.
And there are still nearly 1,000 children who are missing. I like to believe that they're simply running away, but it can't be a wishful thinking. We didn't realize something like this until a magazine reporter pointed it out to us.
Detective NIIMI looks like he has a sour look on his face. The nuance is not that he was outwitted, but he completely overlooked the incident. It seems that he can't forgive it.
According to the writer, there seems to be a sudden increase in disappearance and hangings occurring roughly once a month.
Isn't the main office going to do anything?
For now, they're keeping things on the sideline.
I bet they're running away because they don't want to be dealing with any trouble.
Matters in G Prefecture will be resolved in G Prefecture. We'll continue to follow the chief's directions as we always have and solve the case.
Matters in G Prefectures will be resolved in G Prefecture. That's the only policy that the Director General set out when he took office. If we take it at face value, it's probably something that comes out of sense of responsibility. I think it was mentioned in Chapter 2 as well. But it's been happening a lot lately. Considering the strange incidents, it could also be interpreted that they simply don't want headquarters to interfere unnecessarily. In fact, isn't that more likely?
So, we have our hands full. We'll leave this girl to you two.
In front of the girl, he speaks in a gentle manner, but his eyes are not smiling at all.
The rest is up to you.
Although it seems like we were told to do whatever we want, we ended up taking on this hassle. Well, it's true that we were bored, so it's only natural to be scolded in this emergency situation. I don't know what kind of circumstances this girl is facing, but I'll do what I can.
Say what you want to say. Well, whatever, it's better than being bored.
Even though Sin is angry at Detective NIIMI's words, he seems to have calmed down for the time being.
Alright then, let's hear your story.
So, kid, what did you see? A UFO? Holocaust of the toilet? Whatever you witnessed, just tell us your statement and we'll investigate it. Please, Senna.
Smiling broadly, Senna speaks to the girl. The girl's expression soft, as if she thought it was just a cute mistake on a child. However, the words that came out of this girl were beyond my imagination.
No, I came to turn myself in.
Turn herself in? Such stiff words, completely unbecoming of a small girl.
Huh? Turn yourself in? What, did you punch a teacher you didn't like? I do that all the time too, so I know how you feel.
I'm amazed that he managed to even become a police officer.
Well, they don't even tell you anything important, so they shouldn't act so superior. You're innocent, alright?
Hey!
Even the girl's like, seriously, dude? Perhaps amazed at our comedy-like exchange, the girl just looks at us with a blank expression on her face. What? Situations like this, the usual approach is to first reassure the other person and make it easier for them to talk.
Well, that's certainly true, but when the witness of an incident is a child, it's certainly important to reassure them, but for Senna to point that out, I'm so embarrassed. However, it goes without saying that Police officers have no right to decide whether someone's guilty or not. Prosecutors bring charges and judges hand down sentences. As detectives, we can only investigate cases, make regular arrests, and make emergency arrests. Even ordinary people can make an arrest if the crime is caught in the act. The power of the investigation it's what makes a detective unique. And incidentally, even though the law judge system was enacted in 2009, police officers like us are not legally allowed to serve as a law judge. While it's only natural that whether or not one is directly involved in the investigation of a case that has gone to a trial, one may still lean towards the police as prosecutors. Even if you're trying to reassure her, make sure you don't leave out the law.
Don't sweat the small stuff.
Ignoring Senna, who looks obviously annoyed, I turned and spoke to the girl.
The name's Natsumiri. What's your name?
Just like Senna said, the first thing to do is reassure the girl. However, usually both parties introduce themselves first. Isn't that how things should start?
Lise. What a cute name. So what about your last name? What's it called? Kato. Lise Kato.
After a moment of hesitation, she gives out her full name. Lise Kato. That seems to be the girl's name.
So you're Lise Kato. Nice to meet you.
I hold out my hand to shake. Lise looks confused as she sees my outstretched hand. Is it possible that she doesn't know how to shake hands?
What's wrong? Never done a handshake before?
With a wide-eyed smile and gentle voice that I normally never use, I once again extended my right hand to Lise. However, she still looks at me in a surprise, looking alternately between my hand and my face.
She's scared of you!
Shut up! Because of what happened earlier, I ended up speaking louder. Oh no, I can't let the girl see this scene.
What's a handshake?
Huh?
You never shaken hands? No.
In response to my question, Lisa gives an apologetic expression and bows her head and answers in a very small voice. I mean, she definitely looks like she hadn't had a normal life, for sure. I mean, she is the girl with time-traveling powers as we know, except them. Does she really not know what a handshake is?
Oh, is that so? Well then, we'll teach you.
Taking advantage of the opportunity, Senna lets out a cheerful voice. I have a bad feeling about this.
You see, a handshake is like a sacred ritual between two people to confirm their friendship.
As expected?
Senna, stop instilling your biased values into innocent children.
I'm so surprised at what he's saying that I end up giving Senna a mean look.
Listen, Lise, just ignore what he's saying.
Hey, Natty, I didn't mean it like that.
Once again, ignoring Senna, I hold out my hand to Lise.
Lise, a handshake is holding hands with friends and becoming even closer as friends. That means I want to be friends with you. So, let's shake hands. Natty wants to be friends with Lise? Yeah.
Lise looks at me timidly. Lise looks at me in my right hand again, and then she timidly raises her right hand and stares at it. Looking at me, she timidly holds out her right hand. I can feel her body temperature on the palm of her hand being slightly warmer than mine. It seems she hasn't made up her mind yet, so rather than shaking hands, our hands are just touching. I gently take Lise's right hand as she welcomes me, and then I shake it firmly, but not that hard that it hurts. For a moment, her body flinched and trembled, but then she quickly shook me. Looks like a faint smile appeared on Lise's face, which had been expressionless this whole time.
See? Now we're friends. Friends.
After shaking hands with me, Lise mutters softly and stares at her right hand again with a puzzled look on her face. Then she began to stare at Senna. She wants a handshake from Senna!
What? You challenging me into a gunfight? What a daredevil kid! Awesome! I'll take a challenge. It seems that he completely misunderstood Lisei's gaze. Senna, they always say the most unusual things.
You idiot. Lisei wants to shake hands with you too.
Sometimes I don't know whether his intuition is good or bad. He might say something oddly sharp, or he might consider someone's feelings, and then he'll say dumb things like this. Why do I have to shake hands with this little brat? God, Senna!
Senna, I know you don't know how to deal with women, but there's no need to be so conscious towards a little girl like her, you know?
I do know how to deal with women! His face. Speaking in a loud voice, that's a confirmation that he doesn't know. He stubbornly denies it, and seeing the look on his face, he tries to hide it. A mischievous thought suddenly arises in my mind.
Really? Then this shouldn't be a problem, right? Can you show her proof? Of course. Shaking hands, right?
This is so much fun. Okay! Seriously, you're starting to act like the witch from the forensic lab, you know? I don't like that comparison. I might have taken this too far. Seriously, you can't help yourself, huh? See. Just like me, Lisei stares at Senna's right hand, which is held out to her brusquely.
Friends.
Perhaps because the other person is a man, she's even more timid than she was. Blushing! Lisei holds out her right hand. Oh, she's so cute! The right hand of these two are held out slightly apart, so it's not a handshake. Is it possible that Lisei is flustered? Oh my god, does she have a little crush on Senna? What? Are you going to do it or not? Make up your mind! Senna's blushing too. Oh, so frustrating. Is this okay?
Yeah, well done.
Senna's blushing!
Alright, Lisei. Now this sister and this crusted brother are your friends.
Who are you calling a crusted brother?
Senna?
Don't point at people! For a man who used to be the leader of a biker gang, he says some strangely classic and moralistic things. But wait, maybe he was raised in a strict household. He did say that he joined the bike gang as a reaction to his overly strict upbringing. Lisei watches our reaction, her round eyes getting even wider. That's a cute smile. This girl is so adorable. And then she begins to laugh. Hey, you're laughing at me, aren't you? Hey, what do you know? We made her laugh. A child's laugh is the best thing. Do you think she'll be up to talking now? Senna turns to me with a quirk on his lips and whispers to me. Apparently that completely different flow was intentional.
You're actually quite capable, Senna.
Of course. When a child's in trouble, they'll need an ally, as it's our job as adults to reassure them. That's a strangely cool way to say it.
Lisei, you said you wanted to turn yourself in, right? Why is that?
Well, you're innocent no matter what. Just feel free to just go ahead and checkmate us, alright?
Hey, Natty. Senna, do you know this story?
Saying this, Lisei looks intently at our faces. The smile she had shown earlier has completely disappeared. Oh.
One night, a boy was watching the stars in his room when he suddenly turned his attention to the apartment building. And at the opposite, he saw a girl watching the stars from inside her room, just like the boy. The next night, and the night after that, on clear nights, the boy would always look up at the stars and direct his eyes towards the girl's room. Each time, the girl was always looking up at the stars in the same way. The boy soon became interested in her and was drawn to her. Then one day, his feelings grew stronger, and the boy made up his mind to visit the girl's apartment. With just one word, I want to talk. He stood in front of the door and rang the doorbell, but there was no sound. He puts his hand on the knob and he opened easily. The boy enters the room with a trepidation and sees before his eyes the body of a rope facing the night sky. and a girl hanging there.
What? She was dead this whole time! Oh my god. As Lisa tells the story with that expression on her face, I felt a chill run down my spine.
Ah, I know that one. The girl who looks at the stars. An urban myth, right?
Senna, on the other hand, seems to feel nothing as he nonchalantly asks about it.
Correct. Senna, you know about this story?
Well, yeah. I mean, not to brag myself, but I know a lot about urban legends.
Well, did you know that there's more to this story?
More? No, I didn't know. What do you mean, a sequel?
Why do you think the girl died?
Her reason for death.
Come to think of it, I never thought about that before.
Is that so? Lisa, what is the reason? The girl died to start her life all over again.
So, she unalived herself to start over again? I don't understand.
But it's the truth.
Is this a suggestion or something that kids these days take life lightly? Urban legends also have a certain allegorical aspect to it.
What, you're saying the world is coming to an end? It's no wonder juvenile crimes are getting worse. Kids who can't even value their own lives have no way of valuing the lives of others.
Senna looks angrier than usual.
Let's put this juvenile delinquency subject aside. Do you really believe that by simply unaliving is enough to restart your life? I do. Because they can die without hesitation. You believe in this? The rest of the story of the girl who looks at the stars actually goes like this. The girl's corpse was smiling with hope because she believed she could be reborn. On a full moon night, if you pray to a certain girl and hang yourself, you'll be able to live your life again. This time, you'll have the wonderful life you wish for.
Hey, what does it mean when a full moon appears? Even though she's the girl who looks at the stars.
That's not the point. The moon is a star too, you know? You know the word satellite, right?
Why are you mentioning that?
Whatever. Lisa, who is this certain girl? That's Lisa.
After hesitating for a moment, Lisa says something unexpected.
Lisa? Your name? Or someone with a similar name? No, I'm talking about Lisa.
So, you're saying that Lisa is a certain girl? Lisa nods.
Seriously?
So the part about her saying that she would turn herself in, it's because of an urban legend about incitement to unaliving?
I don't know people like that, but it seems like what's happening right now. Several children have died because of me.
The girl stops speaking and lowers her eyes for a moment.
That's why I came to turn myself in. Please, before any more children die, execute me, quickly.
Her eyes were serious. It doesn't seem like a joke. This is serious.
Why? That's just an urban legend. Why would you want the death penalty?
Senna's right.
I shouldn't exist. I should die.
Don't be ridiculous!
Senna shouts at the girl angrily.
There's no way a child like you should be saying that. You shouldn't exist or that you should die.
Senna's eyes are burning with anger. He seems genuinely angry. Perhaps intimidated by Senna's anger, Lisa stutters.
The joke has gone too far. You shouldn't be joking around with life and death. Hey, Natty, come on, say something.
Senna turns to me, foaming at the mouth. For a moment I was inclined to agree, but then something started to bother me.
What's the matter? You're not seriously thinking of believing what this girl's saying, aren't you?
If you think about it rationally, the content is not much different from the unaliving incidents that have been happening recently. She's saying that she's involved in an urban legend that results in children's deaths and that she should be arrested and sentenced to death. But her eyes are bothering me. There's no lie in her eyes. She genuinely feels responsible and thinks she should die. That's all I can think. Oh, self-question this early, huh? Okay. Clarifying similarities with urban legends. Why does she think that way? Is it because it's coinciding with the recent unaliving of young children in G Prefecture? According to Lise, if you pray to a certain girl on a full moon night and then die, you'll be able to start your life all over again. Which part of the story does this match up with an aforementioned children unaliving case? I got the method of unaliving, which is hanging, children unaliving themselves. The first one. The method of unaliving, which is hanging. In the story of the girl who watches the stars that Lise spoke about, the girl died by hanging herself. The recent spate of unaliving of children happening in G Prefecture also involves hanging, which matches with the story. It's unclear whether that certain girl is Lise. She says she has no recollections of it. But it's impossible to ignore the strange similarities between these two. And what's the stranger coincidence from this? The fact that it's a full moon night, the fact that unalivings happen once a month, the first one. The fact that it's a full moon night. The full moon comes once a month, and once a month, children hang themselves. While it's impossible to say for sure, there are a number of strange points that seem to match the series of hangings and the urban legends of the girl who watches the star, which is a great concern to us. And there's one thing I'm concerned about Lise's story. The hangings are being kept a secret from the media. The conclusion is that the story was brought to the police. The first one. Regarding the hanging of these children, earlier, Inspector KOUKETSU mentioned that this information was being kept a secret from the media. If that's the case, it's possible that this girl is linked with the incident of the girl who watches the star because she has some kind of connection to the incident. Setting aside the question of whether she really is the culprit or not. It may be possible to dismiss it as a mere coincidence, but that's not the way we at Tokuso do things here, except for the people of the 1st Investigative Division. If that's the case, then we should be able to reach a conclusion by checking one more piece of the new information she provided.
Hey Natty, what are you waiting for?
Senna, just now, Inspector KOUKETSU mentioned that the number of missing children and hanging deaths is increasing once per month, right?
Yeah?
Do you know the details about the date?
No, I don't know. I mean, what the hell are you talking about?
I was thinking maybe it's happening because of the full moon. Lise says that on the night of a full moon, if you pray to a certain girl and hang yourself, you can get a second chance at life, right?
Yes, that's right.
The moon goes through a monthly cycle, right? If these incidents have been happening on a full moon, then it matches with Lise's story. We can't overlook that possibility now, can we? Whether or not this certain girl is Lise, that's another matter.
Hey, Natty.
The full moon.
Lise mutters softly and her expressions clouded over, as if something's bothering her. What's the matter, Lise?
I believe you should execute Lise. If you believe in Lise, please do it.
I was wondering of what she was going to say, but it was just a repeat of what she said earlier. Do you really think we're going to do something like that? If you don't stop, your sister will get very upset. Senna, who's standing next to me, nods in agreement. Do you understand? Lisa, you did nothing wrong. Saying you want the death penalty? That's not something to be taken lightly.
You're lying. I thought you guys would believe me, but I guess you're just like the other adults.
Suddenly, Lisa gets very upset. What exactly is she getting so worked up about? Lisa?
I thought you were friends! You lose!
Huh? Lisa lets out an astonishingly loud scream, unimaginable from her previous quiet voice, and runs to the door. Then stops in front of the door, turning her back up to us and mutters,
From here on out, many more children will die. And it will be all your fault.
Huh? Leaving some frightening words that could be interpreted as a threat, Lisa slams the door and leaves the Tokuso office. We've made her angry.
There's nothing we can do about it. I really wanted to believe her, but asking someone for the death penalty? We can't just say yes. I mean, what more could we have done?
I don't know. Lisei said, I thought you would believe me. And the following words were, you're just like the others adults. It seems like she thought that we were different. I understand that she's carrying some kind of burden that she feels responsible for this. If there's anything we can do is to solve the mysterious disappearance and hangings and prove that she's not to blame. And to do that, we'll have to investigate the relevance of these incidents with the girl who watches the star that she mentioned, Bud.
Oh, that's it! That's it! As expected of my partner, of Natty, my partner!
Now the question is it okay for us to start an investigation and judge things ourselves without an order from the chief director? We haven't heard anything from the chief director for a while now. I thought he might have been planning some strange means of contact, like the spies in movies or something, searching for lockers and such, but nothing's happened. I had thought that perhaps there simply hasn't been any strange incidents happening, but if we're to believe that the inspectors and Lisei if we're to believe what the inspectors and Lisei said, then the incident in question is definitely a strange and mysterious one. Is there something behind this, or is it possible I'm overthinking this too much?
Hey, you're frowning. Are you thinking about something complicated again? Does this have to be such a big deal? Let's just ignore the old man whose face we've never seen.
It's hard to believe those words are coming from someone who was flustered when we received our first call from the chief director.
Besides, there's the series of unaliving. No, disappearance and hangings. That means that this isn't an ordinary case. It's time for us Tokuso to step right in, no matter what.
You're right. Staying here and doing nothing is also denying the value of Tokuso's existence.
Well, that settles it. Let's start an investigation.
The moment Senna lets out a fearless smile, a tremendous noise comes from outside the window. Is that an engine sound? It sounds familiar.
Hey, it's that guy!
In that moment, Senna's taken aback.
The engine sound! Natty, it's him! The blonde prince! He's standing nearby!
As soon as Senna says that, I quickly look out the window. Oh, the girl's right beside him. Hold on, let me... my camera is kinda in the way. This, right here. There's the girl. In that moment, we see the blonde prince in this distinctive, luxurious sport car with Lisei getting into the passenger seat.
Hey, why's that little brat hanging out with the blonde prince?
I don't know, but this definitely confirms that this is a strange incident and that it's not as simple as it seems.
Whenever the prince appears, strange things happen, right?
As in response to what he was saying, the sports car is carrying Lisei and the blonde prince drives away with a roar of its engine. I'm curious about Lisei and the blonde prince's relationship, but even if we chase after them, we'll never catch up with them. If we only had gone after Lisei right away... Oh well, there's no point in regretting it now.
Damn! If only I had Christine! Maybe we could have catch up to them.
Who the hell is Christine? Oh my god, she doesn't even remember the car!
Huh? I showed you this before, it's my car.
His car is Christine? I've never seen it nor heard of it. If I have heard of it, I would never forget. Giving your car a female, English-sounding name at that. But for some reason it sounds familiar. I don't know, but for some reason something about that pops into my mind. Is it a black sports car?
That's right. Oh dear, I guess you did forget after all. Wait a minute. But I've never used a car to commute to work. How do you know?
I don't know.
You guys are still locals. If it's not deja vu, then what is it? Hey, your face is twisted.
You're seeing things, Senna.
I don't know what's going on, but let's stop talking about that.
Right. For some reason I felt a strange sensation like nausea or dizziness.
Anyways, a crime's a crime. We need to prove that kid's innocent.
In the end, it seems that Senna's decided to believe her, Lisei, that she's innocent. That kind of humanity is a typical behavior of his. First, let's find out whether there's a connection between the hanging incidents and Lisei, and how much her words are true. At times like these, there's nowhere to go to. I knew you'd come here. came to talk about the hanging incident. As soon as we entered the forensics lab, we were already greeted by its owner.
As expected, you have quite the foresight.
How did you know that we would come here?
It's a woman's intuition.
Seriously? I thought you used a crystal ball and see us through the reflection.
Why does he sound so disappointed?
Disappointed, I see. A vision through a crystal ball. But I can't see things without that, you know?
That's not necessary. Her seductive smile makes her words seem even more real. In fact, she's right about a lot of things. When I think about it, I get the chills down my spine.
Wow. As expected.
Senna hesitates. He was probably going to say the word witch, but he's been punished so many times that he doesn't.
As expected of what?
Nothing! He shouldn't even have said it in the first place. He knows this every single time.
So, Nettie, you wanted to ask something?
Yeah, regarding the hangings of these children, is there anything suspicious about them?
Well, the only suspicious thing is that the bodies were found hanged. But you already know that, right?
Yeah.
We heard about this from the old man KOUKETSU just recently.
Oh, Masomi. She gives us a meaningful smile.
What?
No, it's nothing. Let's get back to the topic. As I said before, the fact that all the bodies were hanged is suspicious, even though hanging is a common way to die. For starters, hanging is a common thing in Japan. It's even used in executions. It's also the most common method of unaliving. But even so, the combined total for men and women is only about 60%, so the figure of almost 100% in this case seems odd no matter how you look at it.
Surely. By the way, there's 3 main causes of physical death when hanging occurs. One is damage to the cervical spine caused by the force of the hanging. This is what often happens in executions by hanging. Then the carotid and the vertebral arteries are compressed, blocking the blood flow and causing cerebral ischemia. The other cause of death is asphyxiation due to the compression of the trachea and the neck. That's what happened to all of these children.
Are you sure all of these children unalived themselves?
Hold on a second. It seems like it. There's no defensive wounds. There are factors that make it hard to be certain. That too is suspicious.
What does it mean?
I'll explain it in order. Normally, a hanged body is found in such a horrible state that the family member would never look at it again. Incontinence, defecation, and if you're a man, I'll leave that up to your imagination. The smell at the scene after a few days is awful. Faces are distorted in pain, hair sticking out, drool dripping, in some cases the eyeballs are popping out. Ugh. Just thinking about it makes me feel sick. Senna seems to be feeling the same as he desperately tries to endure it. If he throws up now, I might throw up as well. Why would someone so young choose such an ugly death? They take death too lightly. I wonder why Japan has become like this. I'd like to say that, but that's not the case, which is another problem.
What do you mean?
Holding back the urge to throw up, I turn to Professor Kisaragi. As I said before, it's often not something you can see when it comes to a dead body. In the case of these 2 bodies found in this time, they both had looks of ecstasy on their faces. Ecstasy? Or rather they were in trance or dazed? If you think about it normally, that's impossible. But thinking about Yuki Kanno, she had a look of ecstasy on her face, even though she had been suffocated to death. Yuki Kanno's incident was a very special case, but it has nothing to do with this current incident. Oh, okay. Although I didn't say it out loud, it seems that Professor Kisaragi had the same association. Others say that they were intoxicated with alcohol or engaged in adult play. So we initially suspected drugs and alcohol, so we ran blood and tissue tests, but nothing came up. Another suspicious point about this, people think that it's a less painful way to die, but that's only comparison to the other ways. Medically speaking, it is said that unless the person has a cervical spine injury, it takes several seconds for them to lose consciousness. During that time, they will have to continue fighting the pain of the rope digging into them, the fear of death, and maybe even regret.
It may be their expression that they are the results of unimaginably deep despair about the world and their desire for salvation in death, but they're still children, aren't they? And there's so many of them. It's just too unnatural. It'd be more likely to suspect some kind of intense mind control. Ooh, a spirit that can mind control? Oh my god. Oh, by the way, this is just my personal opinion. Mind control. Roughly speaking, the manipulation of people's minds. It refers to the method of mutating the thoughts and values of others and directing them to a particular conclusion. For example, once on a full moon night, if you pray to a certain girl and you die, you will be reborn. This makes the children believe this leads them to unaliving themselves, but to be honest, this is nothing more than a pseudoscience. If we include the occult aspect, then it's not possible to believe that it could be some kind of black magic. In fact, I already faced with a criminal who was performing a magic spell to resurrect the dead on the night of a full moon. Yeah, the second chapter. The absurd idea of starting your life over can be understood to a certain extent if you consider it to be an occult way of thinking. And with the help of supernatural powers, it may not be impossible to control people at will. Commercials also stimulate purchasing desire. It is said to be a form of mind control. It's impossible to manipulate people's minds at will and make them unalive themselves, or like it shouldn't be possible. But with Professor KISARAGI right in front of us, I'm sure she's aware of that when we say it. However, if this is a mysterious incident, then it's hard to deny it. Above all, Professor KISARAGI herself, considering that she possesses something that is beyond human understanding, it is not surprising that someone who can truly manipulate people's minds actually exists. Professor KISARAGI, have you heard of the urban legend of the girl who watches the stars? Ah, yes. The story about a boy who falls in love with a dead person without knowing it. It's kind of romantic, isn't it? Is that so? How can she interpret that as a romantic story? I really don't get Professor KISARAGI at all. Well, this certain girl told us that there's more to this urban legend. More to the story? How does it continue? Apparently on the full moon night, if you pray to a certain girl named Lise and hang yourself, you can be reborn again. This time you can live the wonderful life you wish for. Or so it seems. Things might get complicated from here on out though, so let's keep the little girl Lise a secret for now. I winked at Senna and as if he gets my intentions, gave me a small smile. Interesting. Full moon. Right, full moon. Just like Lise, Professor KISARAGI begins to ruminate on the word full moon. Professor, does anything come to mind to you about this? Well, actually... Whoops! From here on, I'll explain it to you. NIIMI! Whoa, the hell you came from? Before we knew it, Detective NIIMI and Inspector KOUKETSU were here. Weren't you guys busy with the incident? Hell yeah, say it like it is, Natty! You trying to be sarcastic again? That wasn't what I originally intended to. It's true that we had a lot of free time while they've been busy. It seems that he has some kind of guilt or is aware that he's being attacked by someone else. Well, you're right about that. New facts have come to light, so we just came to confirm with Professor KISARAGI. Apologies, didn't mean to say it like that. So what are these new facts? In the case in question, we focus on why there's a sudden, coincidentally, spike in the number of missing children or the ones unaliving themselves once a month. Masaomi and I discovered that these incidents always happen at night, and they tend to happen on a full moon night. So that seems to be the case, after all. Oh, is that so? What? I kindly explained it to you. Even if you explain it to us, we already knew that. What? I feel bad for Detective NIIMI, but we already figured out based on Lise's testimony. But I'm grateful to have that confirmation from them. This time we, Tokus, are a step ahead. How about it, number one arrest duo? Damn you, Tokuso. Sen, are you seriously trying to provoke him? Stop it, Senna. The case hasn't been solved yet, so what's the point of stirring up discord among our co-workers? Right. Natty's trying to get revenge too. No, that's not true. But that's just something that happens in the subconscious. Don't get too cocky! Just because you happen to figure it out first doesn't mean anything! We'll be the ones who will solve the case first! Shin, Isaac, Marie, enough. Solving this case should be our top priority right now.
Yes, you're right.
So then that means the increasing in unaliving on full moon nights is a fact.
Yes, and just like Shin said, all the children that were found hanging had definitely died hanging themselves on a full moon night.
Is that so?
The numbers are almost 100%. If that's the case, then the missing children are... Professor Kisaragi frowns as she looks over what appears to be an autopsy report.
Is that the document from yesterday's discovery? We came here hoping to check yesterday's estimated time of death as well to improve accuracy.
Yes, that's right. But I wish you just called me instead and I would have explained it over the phone. You know my number, right? What?!
Detective NIIMI interrupts the conversation with an exaggerated cough. Recently, there's been some occult magazine writer going around talking about this incident. The one who's exposed this as an incident. So I thought it would be safer to meet directly at the crime scene science laboratory where only those involved can enter. That's the reason why. So now we know for sure that these incidents happen on a full moon night. The question is, why are they hanging themselves on a full moon night?
Yeah, that's a problem.
If this was a murder case, it would be heralded as a return of Albert Fish.
Albert Fish? I've heard about that before.
Huh? Who the hell's that?
So, Senna doesn't know about this. He knows so much about urban legends and ghost stories, but doesn't know this?
This is why I hate amateurs. What you say?
Senna glares at Detective NIIMI, who sighs in exasperation. Completely ignoring this, Detective NIIMI continues.
Albert Hamilton Fish, born May 19, 1870, died January 16, 1936. Known by nicknames such as the Full Moon Madman, the Gray Man, and the Brooklyn Vampire, he was a notorious serial killer and cannibal in American criminal history. Cannibalism! While the truth is uncertain, he confessed to killing 400 people between 1910 and 1934. A significant proportion of his victims were children. Hey, you mean... Yes, it seems those children ended up in the stomachs of the Full Moon Madman. Do you have to say it like that? Senna, who's no longer glaring at Detective NIIMI, covers his mouth, his face turning pale. His nickname, Full Moon Madman, came from the fact that most of his crimes were committed on full moon days.
Is it because he managed to get Senna? Detective NIIMI has a look of triumph on his face.
Werewolves, which is a very American thing. The stories about going berserk on a full moon night is just nonsense.
From an American perspective, this is a huge blow. Oh no, we're getting off topic.
Professor Kisaragi, if someone induced them to unalive themselves, then that would be considered a murder case, right?
Yeah, like I said, mind control and stuff.
What are you talking about?
This is just my personal opinion, so please take this into consideration. Professor Kisaragi explains her mind control theory to Inspector KOUKETSU and Detective NIIMI, omitting the mention of the girl who watches the stars, as is merely her personal opinion.
What a stupid thing to say. There's no way something like that could happen! Though I will say mind control is better than the occult. Is that so?
It seems that Senna's nausea has finally subsided, but he still looks a bit unmotivated. He could only manage to have somewhat weak response to Detective NIIMI, who's deliberately looking his way.
So, do you have any ideas who might do something like this?
It's the moon's fault. The moon is getting closer to the earth than usual, and that's why humans are starting to go crazy. Professor Kisaragi suddenly says something dramatic.
So you're saying the moon's the culprit? Oh, it's definitely the star of the show! What are you even talking about? Shakespeare? Ah, yes, it's a line from Othello.
As expected from the Tokyo University duo. So smart. Senna, you should try a bit harder. You're too old-fashioned.
What an uneducated guy. Shut up!
I had heard somewhere that Detective NIIMI was a graduate of the Faculty of Law at the University of Tokyo, but I never imagined that Inspector KOUKETSU, who's an outlaw, is also a graduate from that university.
So what? Are you seriously saying that the moon's the culprit?
I only mentioned one possibility. It's possible it might be the moon's fault.
Is that even possible?
Let's put aside the whole Alberfish thing. Since ancient times, it has been said that the moon, especially the full moon, has the magical power to drive people crazy. The urban legend of the werewolf Shin mentioned earlier is a prime example.
Would you please stop calling me that? I don't mind if you call me by my full first name, but I also prefer if you call me by my last name.
If I feel like it. By the way, there are many different legends about Saiterman, told throughout history in many different places around the world. His appearance and shape also diverse. They were characters in mythology, humans possessed by wolves, and in ancient Europe they were criminals banished from civil society to the forest. In fact, it seems that the idea of transforming on a full moon night was invented in modern times. However, it is now accepted as common knowledge.
What are you trying to say?
I think that's proof that there is a widespread belief that the full moon has something that changes people. Even the normally good-natured citizens turn into ferocious beasts on full moon nights. I too get fired up on full moon nights.
KISARAGI, stop! Okay, we get it. Please talk seriously.
Have I not been serious from the start? No. Alright, time to explain this from a scientific standpoint. As you know, tides are caused by the influence of the moon, which exerts gravitational force on the softest material on Earth's surface, water or ocean water. And on full moons or new moon days, the gravitational pull on the sun joins in, causing the difference between high and low tides to be at their greatest, which by the way are called spring tides. In other words, it's like we're just a bit closer to a state of zero gravity than normal. To put it simply, it's no surprise that you might be feeling hotter. Oh my god!
Academically speaking.
Oh dear, with the human body, even the slightest loss of balance can cause some terrible things. A typical example of this is when a cell becomes cancerous. The trigger is a tiny bit of damage to the cell or the DNA within. It may seem like an outrageous statement, but coming from Professor Kisaragi has a strangely persuasive power. By the way, the English word for madman means lunatic. The origin of this word comes from the Latin word luna, which means moon. Yes, that's correct. As a Spanish person, I can confirm that moon means luna in Spanish. So, yeah. And I have a cat named Luna, by the way. In the last century, it's common knowledge that the moon could mislead people, and in fact, there were cases where leniency was given from crimes committed on nights of a full moon.
But that was a long time ago, right?
I can't say for sure. In 1950s, American researchers attempted to compile statistics on the age of the moon on the days when the murders occurred. And what were those results? The results were that the murders rates peak during full moons and rise again during new moons.
That's obviously just a biased data picked up by some stupid scientists wanting to justify their own claims.
That's so like you, Shin.
Don't call me that.
Now, you are free to believe it or not, believe it or to not believe, but if things continue like this, more children will hang themselves. Professor Kisaragi interrupts Detective NIIMI, speaking in a rare, serious tone.
Tonight's going to be a full moon night, you know?
Everyone in the room falls silent as soon as Professor Kisaragi says that. So there's gonna be a full moon night. Pronto! In a couple of hours! Oh my god. We can't allow any more casualties. I'm sure Senna, Detective NIIMI, and Inspector KOUKETSU feel the same. There's a spark of light of determination in our eyes. Oh. 2 p.m. After our reunion at the forensic lab, we decided to visit the homes of the families of the elementary school students who had unalived themselves in order to find our next clue. I know it's cruel to do something like this, but as Professor Kisaragi said, tonight's a full moon. We must get clues and solve this case at all costs. If there's a culprit, we must catch them. If the cause is a supernatural phenomena, if it's the effect of the full moon, then we must find a way to stop it, before new unalives and missing children happen. Suddenly, Lisei's face comes to mind. How much of what she said is actually true?
Try, please.
Yeah, leave it to me. As we walk through the entrance and into the parking lot, we see a boy standing there, huh? Oh? A boy with white hair. The boy looks around restlessly, as if looking for someone. What's with that brat? Is he lost?
Maybe. Shall we call him out?
To be honest, every moment is precious, but as a police officer, we cannot overlook this. Hey, little brat! What are you doing there? If you just listen to his words, it makes him sound like not a police officer, but a thug who's come to collect a protection money. If he said that with a straight face, it would literally be that. While I was surprised that Senna could speak such a thing, I decided to offer some support and speak to the boy as kindly as possible.
Excuse me, but are you lost? I'm not lost. I'm just looking for someone.
Hearing this unexpected, cheeky response, I couldn't help but look at the boy intently. I thought the white part of his head was a hat, but it seems to be his actual hair. He appears to be the same age as Lisei, but he has a disproportionately silky white hair. Is he like albino or something?
Hey, don't stare at me!
And he has a cheeky way of speaking. His facial features and expression also seem somewhat cheeky. If it weren't for the white hair, he'd be a little sad.
What are you looking at?
They're in harmony. These two look exactly like brothers.
No, it's nothing. More importantly, who are you looking for? Also, mind telling us your name?
The white-haired boy hesitates for a moment. Finally, he answers my question.
Yomi.
That's a blunt way of saying it.
Yomi. What's your last name? I don't have a surname. It's just Yomi.
You talk in a very cheeky way, you brat.
Now, Senna. He has a mean look in his eyes and a mean mouth as well. He's just like you. From the outside, they look like brothers.
Last name and stuff like that no matter. Names are just symbols.
What? Yomi spats it out with a clear look of disgust on his face.
Symbol? I didn't come here to talk to you about that. Do you guys see a blonde-haired prince come by here in a bright red luxurious car?
What? I can only think of one person this Yomi's talking about, though he still has a bad attitude.
Oh, the blonde prince?
A blonde, crappy prince in a bright red luxurious car. Regardless of whether or not the word crappy is appropriated, but there's only one person we know.
Hey, Natty. Looks like a clue came straight to us. After all, God really does pay attention to our everyday actions.
I'm surprised that a man like you, who was the leader of a motorcycle gang, is saying something like that. You saw him? You're looking for the blonde prince, right, Yomi? Yeah, that's right.
Hey, how about we go for drinks together?
Huh? Senna suddenly say something unexpected!
We don't have time for that. We're in the middle of a situation, you know?
Listen, I'm not saying this without meaning it.
Senna comes close to me and whispers as if telling me a secret. His eyes! Look at his eyes, look at his face! What? He's not normal.
Whether it's the crime research laboratory or Hayarigami Prefectural Police Headquarters, the blonde prince has been showing up quite often, right? I mean, don't you find it weird that his friends are around at this very moment? It's best to have an important discussion somewhere else.
What Senna's saying does make sense. After all, the blonde prince even shows up at the investigation meetings.
Surprised you came up with that plan.
Right? I have a ton of ideas for places to go, but the police aren't around, obviously. Leave this to me.
Well, you and I are both police officers, so what do you think about that statement?
That settles it. Hey kid, let's go out for drinks together.
In what world does a detective invite a child out for drinks in the middle of the day? Besides, you're a lightweight, Senna.
I know that. You know I'm actually referring to go to a place to eat, right? It's a figure of speech.
No, that's not a metaphor. You guys are going to give me something to eat?
Yomi speaks in an unexpectedly loud voice that drowns out our pointless exchange. His expression is one of surprise and delight? The look in his eyes, which had looked sullen for a moment ago, had completely changed.
Yeah, sure. We'll let you eat whatever you want.
Anything I want?
Yomi's face lights up when he hears Senna say that.
Really? Anything?
This is just a reaction for food. There's a lot of weird things about him, but he's still a kid.
Yeah, of course. Whatever you want.
I reply nonchalantly. Judging from what Senna had said earlier, I should support this decision.
Really? You really don't mind at all? You're not lying, aren't you?
Yeah, a man never lies.
And we're police officers. We won't lie. Okay, I believe you. There's no way you can say no to that.
We won't do anything suspicious.
Nancy, let's split this one up.
Split?
What should I get? I'll never get another chance like this again.
Despite his stiff expression, Yomi's eyes are sparkling. I wonder if it's really unusual for him to go out to eat.
Okay, I decided.
So what do you want to eat?
Steak!
Yomi lets out a cheerful shout.
So childish. Hito beef, A5, of course. That's not childish.
Even I, as an adult, have never eaten such high-quality meat, and I'm already excited about it.
Oh, you hit the nail on the head. Hita beef is the highest quality Japanese black beef that G Prefecture is proud of. This is an exceptional product that can only be named after the carefully selected Kuroge Wagyu beef raised by certified producers, which are only limited number in G Prefecture, and that has a meat quality grade of their 3 or higher and stabilization grade of a B or higher.
Oh,
The meat has a fine texture, a melting sweetness, and smooth marbling that is not all that heavy.
Bro, you're gonna make me hungry.
And that extremely fine fibers give the red meat a deep flavor which is tender, yet chewy and packed with umami. Of the approximately 500,000 head of Wagyu beef shipped nationwide each year, only about 10,000 are shipped, so this is a precious Wagyu beef. If you don't eat it with care, you'll be punished.
is it really that valuable?
Well, what's more,
There's still more? Alright, that's enough.
If we keep going though, there's no telling how long the posting of G Prefecture specialty will come.
what? It's a nice place.
Exactly! I was really looking forward to the meat!
Both of them have sulky expressions on their faces. Seriously, are they not blood related?
Senna, we can't relax right now, remember? Let's continue this conversation inside the restaurant.
Oh, right.
So, where should we go? Aren't all the places that serve Hita beef steaks at this time only happen to be served at high-end restaurants?
Dining at such a restaurant would be quite a strain on a detective's low salary.
Listen, Natty. These are the words of my mentor, the one who made me a full-fledged police officer. Don't be stupid. You're thinking too much. If you're going to do something, do it with all your might.
What the hell was Senna's mentor thinking? I can't help but complain about this person, someone I never even met.
Get ready, Natty. You got to decide now. This is all for the sake of solving the case.
Even if you say that, this is definitely can't be expense.
I guess I'll be skipping lunch for a while this month. Holy sh**. There's the restaurant.
Yo, looks delish.
Oh, look at it, it's so cute.
Oishi!
With a big smile on his face, Yomi munches the Hita beef with great enthusiasm.
This is amazing! So tasty! When you bite into it, the juices just ooze out! I see. That's nice.
Jeez, you better eat it well and enjoy it.
I nod sadly at the gourmet report I didn't ask for and lower my eyes to the rice and miso soup. In front of me as soon as this meal only. This disparity is so sad. Despite the situation we're in, Yomi jumps at the chance without any reservations nor hesitations. The top quality A5 rank Hita beef is sucked into Yomi's small body with incredible force. Alas, impermanence.
That was delicious. You two are very good people.
What an arrogant kid.
This is the first time I've ever eaten something this delicious.
Yomi smiles broadly with a childlike look of satisfaction. Seeing him smile like that, is it possible this is the first time he's had a meal like this? It's quite expensive, very expensive, but when I see Yomi smile, I feel a bit better. Well, I guess it's okay to spend money on occasions like this.
Usually all I get is bland, tasteless jelly. I was really longing for a steak. Thank you.
Jelly?
Jelly?
I feel like I just heard some pretty inappropriate words.
What? Your family runs a jelly shop or something?
I don't have a home. I was kept in an institution. We're only fed jelly. Jelly, jelly, jelly. Every day. Ugh, it's disgusting.
Kept in an institution? And only eating jelly? What the hell?
That sounds like a very gruesome story. What do you mean by that? What about your parents? Are they abusive parents?
Sena's expression changes into a serious one in response to my words abuse.
I don't have parents. Didn't I just tell you I was kept at an institution?
Hey, what do you mean?
I'm not understanding at all.
What on earth is Yomi talking about?
Well, we're not normal humans like you guys. Both Lisa and I were created and raised in the facility. But Lisa gets special treatment unlike me.
Lisa? You know Lisa?
What are you talking about? You treated me to dinner because you wanted to ask about that, right?
Well, since you mentioned the blonde prince, we were hoping we could connect somehow. I can't believe you knew.
Please, Yomi, tell us everything you know. Okay, I'll cooperate. It'll be better this way.
It doesn't look like he's lying. What the hell? The blonde prince and Lisa. This kid knows something we don't know. And from what it looks like, this boy's background is not particularly normal. Who the hell is this kid?
It doesn't look like he's lying. This boy's background is not particularly normal. Who the hell is this kid? You were thinking about that just now, weren't you?
He's reading our minds! That's what's going on! No! How did he know? Did he read my mind? That's so...
How did he know? Did he read my mind? That's stupid. That's what I thought.
Why are you doing that?
What's the matter, Natty?
Sina looks puzzled.
Is this kid a psychic? That's what this delinquent is thinking right now. This brat, who is he calling a delinquent? That's what this delinquent is thinking right now.
He's reading Sina's mind! Sina's eyes were wide open with a look of shock on his face. In other words, the kid's right. This boy who calls himself Yomi has predicted what both of us were thinking, but is that even possible? Now, if he tries to predict what we're saying, this can't be.
You still don't get the gist, huh? You can tell based on what I said. This is why I don't like normal people. They have a habit of easily believing pointless superstitions, rumors, and shady business ideas. But when they're confronted with the facts that goes against their common sense, they immediately stop thinking.
He sounds exasperated. I'm concerned about the word he uses, ordinary people. It's as if he's trying to say that he's different from us. Yeah, no
I am different. You can see it, right? My hair and my eyes are normal.
There's no way he predicted what I just thought! No way, is this really happening?
Listen, I have a special ability. The power to read people's minds.
The ability to read people's minds?
Still can't believe it? Even you have the ability to spot lies?
Liar's art! I haven't even thought about that at all till now, but is it possible to read things I haven't even thought about?
Yeah, that's right.
It's a bit more complicated than you might think, so he can even read things we haven't even thought about.
You brat! You even know about Natty's liar's art!
You thought that I could only read minds? I don't only read what you're thinking right now, but I can read past experiences and memories as well. To put it simple, it means I can understand and read everything about the other person.
What on earth is this? I've had my fair share of strange and paranormal happenings, but I've never been confronted with something so clear-cut like this before. Damn. What the? Are you saying that we should believe in things like psychic powers?
What a strange thing to say. You started to believe in urban legends because of your mentor's death, but you don't want to believe in psychic powers that I've just demonstrated to you before your eyes?
Senna goes blank. His face has lost all color. He's clearly stunned.
Why are you talking about my mentor's incident?
I've told you a few times already. It's because I can read people's minds. If you still don't believe it, let me prove it to you once more. While I'm at it, why not use Natty's liars are?
Oh, we're doing it now! Okay then, let's go ahead and do it. We're not controlling him though, he's doing it by himself.
Hey punk, you seem to have a lot of secrets, don't you?
This isn't some rundown fortune teller, you know? Everyone has secrets, right, Natty?
Don't go asking me. You're shaking up right now, aren't you? All sorts of things you're trying to hide are popping into your head, you know?
What are you talking about?
Let me start by asking this. When you bought me that steak, you were upset when you saw the price, didn't you?
Now that I think about it, even if we both split the bill, it was a pretty painful amount, but Senna didn't feel any sense of despair.
You're a pretty rich guy, aren't you?
He's confronting it! Don't be ridiculous! Do you even know how much a detective gets paid?
I thought that by buying you a steak would lead us to a clue in solving our case.
Well, I've had it a few times before. I guess I'll go with Natty's now. What? You were thinking of this too when you both had to eat rice and miso soup, didn't you?
That's not true!
Oh my god! Senna's clearly and visibly upset. In other words, the kid's right. Thinking about it carefully, it does seem to make sense. Well, given that this is Senna's hometown, he probably saves more than I do. And yet, he still had the nerve in asking me to split the bill. Now I'm pissed off.
I've been a police officer for a few years now, so it shouldn't be surprising if I did some savings.
Yeah, but if you're living at a house, you don't have to pay rent, right? You can save up the money easily, right?
That's right. As expected of my partner. That was a nice follow-up.
If that was the case, then why did he have to split the bill? I was trying to be sarcastic by saying this, but it seems like Senna, who's completely flustered, didn't understand what I meant to say.
Wow, your house is pretty big.
Wait a minute, Senna? Sorry!
I didn't expect this, but you were raised in a wealthy family.
What are you talking about? That's not true. Right, Natty?
I don't know. I've never even been to your house, Senna.
Well, for a former delinquent, those are well-tailored suits, and he wears them every day with no wrinkles and nest creases. I was wondering about that before. I wondered if he was surprisingly methodical, but if he was raised by a rich family, it does make more sense.
You can tell by looking. The fabric is apparently of very high quality. Oh, so your butler ironed that suit for you.
You mentioned the butler, Akira.
I see. You had a lot of subordinates, didn't you? But you didn't have a lot of friends you could trust. Is that butler one of the few people you can trust?
That's...
Even though your appearance is like this, you're surprisingly sensitive and distrustful of people. It's your family's fault.
Senna's expression changes completely. This isn't confusion or surprise, but anger.
Oops, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but you caused a lot of trouble when you were a kid, right?
This time he looks sad. His expression, which has been changing rapidly up until now, told me that Yomi's words are true.
So the one who saved you when you were acting violently was a man you called Old Man.
Without even a moment to let him catch his breath, Yomi continues to speak as if he's seen it all.
Well, I guess I've actually seen it, or rather, I've seen it.
Senna no longer feels like arguing. The child continues to speak as if it's the most natural thing in the world.
I see. That's a strange way to die. I would be infuriated too if they just gave up on the case and called it an accident.
Are you serious?
Didn't I told you already? I've told you many times before, I can read minds. In today's world, people like that have no way of understanding your mentor's death and assume it's an accident. But I understand how you feel. Are you finally ready to believe me?
I guess I have no other choice. I'll believe in those psychic powers of yours.
So you're finally ready to admit it. It doesn't sound honest, but whatever. Let's move on.
Alright then, well, as much as I would like to continue this episode, I am going to be ending this one here. This is quite the jump that we've been doing a lot. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this first part of the chapter 5. If you really did enjoy it, drop the like button. It really helps out a lot. If you're not subscribed to the channel, would appreciate if you do. Also leave your comments and your thoughts on this video or anything in general. And yeah, that is pretty much it, my lovelies. I love you all, appreciate you, and we'll be seeing you in the next one. Goodbye.